30 times. Two times more. And stop.
We have people that have switched this system, this latent system on, and they have a greater understanding of who they really are. And it all of a sudden shows that there is no past life. They're all happening now. I don't know how else to say that. And when we activate this latent system, the information that's being translated into profound imagery, that experience, that rich experience enriches the brain. Now you're laying down circuits for something that has nothing to do with the material world, and that experience produces an emotion, but the emotion is not going to be guilt or shame or unworthiness or fear. The emotion is going to be ecstasy or bliss. And the stronger the emotion you feel, the more you're going to be paying attention to those pictures in your mind. And literally, you're going to begin to rewire your brain for the mystical. And when you open your eyes and you come back to your senses, you're going to see a broader spectrum of reality. You're going to begin to see what has always existed, but you didn't have the circuits in place to experience them, because we don't see things how they are. We see things how we are. So now the person all of a sudden opens their eyes, and I've had this happen. You see colors and light like you've never seen before. You hear. Everything's melodious. Everything's unified. It's the smell, the taste, the feeling of everything is just enhanced. And we're here in three-dimensional reality for that.
Thirty times. 2 times more. And stop.
I mean, we're here to really experience life fully. I mean, that's why I'm here. That I'm not going to be guilty. I'm not going to be sad. I mean, how many times have we done that? I mean, that mystical moment, when you have that experience and you begin to perceive in a whole different way, and you connect to that intelligence, you will see that energy, that intelligence in every human being, in everything around you, and you'll feel more connected and less separate. And I think that's why we're here. We've seen the footprints of people who have healed themselves of cancer, and it's in the field, and they step into those same footprints. But we also have evidence in three-dimensional reality, and you see the woman who's now MS free, and now the evidence in three-dimensional reality says, I have permission to do it. So it's in the field, and it's in three-dimensional reality, and it should be in both. That's the evidence we need to know that it's possible. And the cool part about it is that nobody is excluded from it.
30 times. Two times more. And stop.
Well, modern psychology calls it systematic desensitization. What you do is, if you want to desensitize someone to a fear of something, you have them imagine being in it and working on practicing surrendering to the fear or getting beyond the fear, relaxing and calming down. And so you're breaking, it's called inhibition. You start inhibiting that conditioning process because you're having the thought and you're choosing to not feel that emotion or begin to self-regulate a new emotion. And the research shows that if you do that properly, there are afferent fibers from the heart that go right to the amygdala, straight to the amygdala. And what it does is it shuts the lights out for fear. It lowers the volume for pain and suffering, and it cools off the circuits for that kind of tenacity and aggression. And what happens is you get this resetting of a baseline. And so now the person is more safe, that they're not anticipating the next threat, the next danger. They're not looking around the corner for the predator. Their body's not in that vigilance. Their body's more in the present moment. And so you begin to desensitize yourself when you confront the fear, or you confront the possible scenario, and you begin to choose a different emotion, or you break from that emotion. And because people do they do the opposite really well. They think about the worst thing that's going to happen to them in their lives, and then they say, no, it could even get worse. And they begin to emotionally feel the fear before it happens. And they're conditioning their brain and body to subconsciously become the mind of fear. Do it enough times, and your body is going to have a panic attack without you. Try as you may to control it with your conscious mind, you won't be able to, because you programmed it subconsciously. And then you start worrying about the next time it's going to happen, and it's that very, very state of being that begins to create the next one. And so then the doctor says it's chemical imbalance in your brain. It's a hardware problem. Well, the insight doesn't change anything. And when you have that first panic attack and you're in the supermarket, the moment you feel that change in your inner state, you're looking around to see in your outer environment what's causing it. And you think it's an airplane or it's a supermarket. And so then, you take the drug, but the drug doesn't heal the condition. In fact, you'll still stay away from supermarkets or airplanes. So then it's a software problem. Your father was overbearing, was a perfectionist. He was really hard on you. So now you have the insight. My father was overbearing. Does it heal it? No. So then you go to the psychic. The psychic says that you were burned at the stake in the 1500s. You were a charismatic Christian in the south of France. Oh, yeah, now you start reaffirming it. Yeah, this is why I am this way. Or Mercury's in retrograde. Really? 93 million miles away, some planet is controlling that's what's reason for my fear. People will come up with all kinds of reasons, but sooner or later, you're going to have to confront yourself. We have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of brain scans of people who have had anxiety and that just don't have it anymore. These are professionals. These are dentists, engineers. These are nurses, people that really were struggling a great deal with it. You cannot be anxious if you're in the present moment, and it's just a skill. So I think that we can use it in a positive way.